Official drops the gate. Okay, so we've got Justin Cooper on the outside with first gate pick. He went to the outside of the doghouse, and you got Tomac just to the inside.
All right, here we go. You see the clock ticking down. We're inside of 30 seconds to go to the gate drop. Final adjustments to the goggles. Get yourself where you need to be to get the proper start. Get that bike feeling just the way you want it. Give it a couple of revs and get ready. We're about to have at it here, the 30-second board, about to turn sideways and exit the racetrack. Tension starting to build. There goes the 30-second board. We're ready to go racing here in BC Place. Drop the gate. Headed to Carpe, turn number 1. And it's Tomac out front, but boy, he slipped right in the middle of the corner. Everything broke away the rear end of the Red Bull KTM, and Anderson on the 21 comes up the inside to take away the lead.
And that came from gate number 1, way inside, the safe gate, Jeff, but he pushed everybody wide, cut under, takes the lead. What a start for Ombre.
Tomac back to second place as he fights hard to get there, but Vince Freezy got a tremendous start. He's in front of Tomac now, just by a hair on that start. So it's the start versus the KTM as they come at you here.
And there's Justin Cooper, the 32 on the Yamaha, the wild card for this event, has made his way past Freezy also, and Christian Craig's in there.
Watching Tomac on that Red Bull KTM, Cooper right behind him now. Here's Anderson blasting through the whoops. Where's the start? There it is. Christian Craig up here on the 28 as well. He's holding down 4th right now. Freezy has slipped back to 5th. Roxon trying to come up as quick as he can. He sits in 6th right now.
Well, and for Ken Roxon, Jeff, the sweep, the perfection, everything going your way, well, he's being challenged right now. He's going to have to be his very best in a quick race and go through Craig and Cooper and Tomac and Jason Anderson, who is taking off with a 1.6-second lead.
Again, this is another short 8-lap race with 10 points up for grabs for the winner.
Well, Ken Roxon, that 94 there, the red plate, he's your points leader. This is the most adversity that he's had to face so far in this young championship.
Savatgy off into the tough blocks, but he keeps it going.
Yeah, and you see Freezy's dropped back quite a few places. He got a good start, but everything was happening way too quick for him.
Roxon is closing on Craig. That's quickly going to become a battle for 4th. As we continue to watch Anderson getting hounded by Tomac. Tomac a little bit higher up on that berm, gets a great drive off into this next rhythm lane as they come to the finish line jump. Anderson knows he has company. Tomac on the inside, new leader here in BC Place, and the crowd comes to life here in Canada.
Anderson tried to cut down and kind of counteract what Tomac was doing, hit some tough blocks. Luckily, he didn't go down. Now, though, one of those tough blocks kind of kicked out in the middle of the track, so the other rider is going to come around the turn and have a little surprise.
Roxon up to 4th very quickly. Now up to 3rd on Justin Cooper. So that early race pace that he has, he is using it, and he better, because now Eli's got that clear track. Kenny's got to get by Jason quick.
He's got his teammate in front of him on the other PMG bike, the other Suzuki. Anderson right there in the 21, then Roxon. Cooper on the 32, and Craig coming inside of Cooper. Put him in front of that. That's going to move Christian Craig up to 4th, and Cooper slides back to 5th.
Yeah, how do you got to feel if you're Justin Cooper? You went out and won Super Pole, then all of a sudden now here in race 1, you're getting shuffled back a little bit.
But again, that's the difference between one lap and a whole race, right, Jeff? And we're halfway through this one, so there's still plenty of time for Roxon. If he can make another pass here, get around Anderson quickly, he might have a shot at Tomac before this is over. Let's go get an ad from Kristen Beat right now.
Jason Anderson with a pressure being applied by his teammate Ken Roxon. Now remember, after taking 3 months off earlier this season due to health issues, Jason Anderson is still rebuilding his conditioning. He sees the physio 4 times a week. He receives hyperbaric treatment, and now on this new bike, he's not just adapting to the chassis, but also trying to get his conditioning back. I'm curious if that will play a factor late in this race.
Taking a look at these lap times, Ken Roxon fastest lap with a 54.5. Eli's just a 1/10 slower than that. So really, those are the 2 fastest riders on the track. Visually, though, it looks like Christian Craig there, sitting your screen on the quad lock Honda. Something is definitely working right for him. and currently setting back and forth, but I'd keep my eye on that number 28 also.
Tomac was even quicker on that last lap, extended the gap to 2 seconds between him and Anderson, but Roczen is closing the gap between him and his teammate. Here they come, Anderson on the 21, Roczen right behind him on the 94.
And this might be a sprint race, but these races now count towards your overall and the championship. So for Ken Roczen, if he wants a shot at that overall, every pass is going to matter. So you can't just settle into third and then kind of speed your way into the final race. This pass might matter when it all is said and done. But Eli Tomac looks great. Anderson looks way better than he did a week ago. And Ken Roczen is dealing with that adversity pretty well. He's made moves, but now he's going to have to find his way around his teammate on the PMG Suzuki.
All right, so where's Roczen going to get him? He has caught Anderson. He's right there looking inside to the next corner. Anderson beats him there. There's just a couple of bike lengths between the two of them. Working
like
lap 7. This one is just about done.
I like the whoop section, even though Roczen is pretty quick through this tighter section at the end of the track, like right
Here he comes. Roczen looking inside.
Not enough.
Not enough, no. Anderson does a good job of fending him off for now.
And that's where he got Cooper, was in that corner doing that same rhythm, but Jason was a little bit further ahead. So, Jeff, maybe it's these whoops.
Here we go.
Here comes Tomac through those whoops. What do you guys think of how that KTM is handling for him through that tricky section?
Yeah, he looks great. Yeah, Tomac is definitely dialed in. Nope, Roczen's still in third.
And Anderson has cut the gap between him and Tomac by a hair.
All right, let's take a look at these lap times. Tomac goes by at a 56, Anderson a 55, and Roczen a 54.9. So obviously Roczen fastest right on the track. Now he's switching up his lines.
Kenny inside.
To figure it out.
Closer than he's been through this entire race, and we're on the final lap. Anderson's got to hold him off one more lap, and a big bobble by Roczen's going to cost him, and that might be enough for Anderson.
Well, and Anderson is reeled in. Tomac, he might have backed off just a little bit, but the pressure from Roczen was forcing Anderson to pick up his pace, and it's tightened up quite a bit with just a few turns to go.
Back into the whoops again. Here comes Tomac. Final couple of corners. Boy, he rode that front wheel those last few, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Nice and smooth through here is the reigning world champion, Eli Tomac. Final corner, he comes to the finish line jump, and Eli Tomac lights the candles here in the Canadian GP. Anderson will hold off Ken Roczen. So Roczen, for the first time in 2025, doesn't see the checkered flag first.
Well, and as I look at timing and scoring, you know what is really interesting to me? 5.4 seconds separated first and fifth. First and